You ever feel like you need subtitles while trying to talk to ATC? Don't worry, it's not just you. Making clean, confident radio calls is one of the easiest ways to level up as a pilot, and today we're gonna do a deep dive into how to sound like a pro on the microphone without even overthinking it. Honestly, that's where a lot of mistakes come from. It's just overthinking radio comms. So, why do radio communications matter? Well, maybe if you're just flying VFR, they might not matter as much, but flying IFR, they kind of matter more, so it's a good idea to learn it anyways. The good radio calls aren't just about sounding cool, and they're about safety, clarity, and efficiency. Every transmission helps build a shared mental picture between the pilot and ATC, and even other pilots around in the area. So, clear communications will usually have better traffic separation because people will be able to understand where you are. It reduces the workload for everyone since they don't have to try to figure out where you are when you just can tell them where you are, and makes you more confident in busier airspace because flying through the Bravo, you really kind of have to stay on top of your game with radio communications. Here's a little pro tip. If ATC understands you the first time, you're winning. You're doing good if ATC understands you. Clear, concise communication will always play out good for you. Now let's talk about the building blocks of a good radio call. So when you're making a radio call, there's kind of a format that you want to go based off of, and it has the same ingredients for each call: who you're calling, who you are, where you are, and what you want. So these four: who you're calling, who you are, where you are, and what you want. So it'll sound like this. So for example, who you're calling. Let's say we're at Albert Whitted and we want to go take off and go to the west and go have some fun around the coast. So we're gonna say Whitted Tower or Whitted Ground, because we're still on the ground. Talking to Whitted Ground, and who are we? We are Diamond Star 5 Delta Sierra. So we're gonna be like Whitted Tower, Diamond Star 385 Delta Sierra. That's gonna be the who you are, or the who you're calling, and the who you are. Then you're gonna say where you are and what you want. So we are at the flight school and we want a VFR departure to the west. So if we put those two concepts together, we're gonna get Whitted Tower, Diamond Star 385 Delta Sierra, at the flight school, looking for a VFR departure to the west. That just makes up the whole radio comm with those four building blocks. So who you are, where you are, and what you want, basically. Try to keep it concise, professional, and rehearse before you key up the mic. That's also another big thing that I do. I like to say it in my head 2 times before I say it into the microphone the 3rd time. And if you're saying more than once, take a deep breath and regroup and try calling again. I've had to do that multiple times, especially getting flight following. And every radio call is going to be like that. So we can say Tampa approach, Diamond Star 385 Delta Sierra, 5 miles to the west of Albert Whitted, looking for a VFR flight following. And it's the same concept: the who you are, where you are, what you want, and, well, who you're calling, which is technically first. So let's talk about some common mistakes new pilots make. And I'm gonna go through all of them and tell you how to fix each one of them. There's primarily 4 mistakes that people make: is stepping on transmissions or not listening before transmitting, talking too fast or too slow, forgetting to read back clearances, and using slang or casual language. So I know I like to use a lot of casual language when I'm on the simulator. You can't really do that in real life. You can up to a certain point, but it's best to use professional language in the aviation realm. So we're going to talk about stepping on transmissions. This is a big one, and I still kind of make this mistake sometimes. It depends. Stepping on transmissions. My rule of thumb whenever I switch to a frequency is wait for at least 5 seconds before keying up. This is after a handoff, but if I'm going onto the frequency initially, I'll tune it in and just listen in to see what everyone's doing and what the last radio call was. Usually the best thing to do first is just listen before you speak. The second thing, which is something I have trouble with while making YouTube videos, is talking too fast or too slow. And now that I say that, I should probably slow down what I'm saying. So, talking too fast. If you talk too fast over the radio, ATC might not be able to understand you. The radios that are in our little flight school planes are not the greatest in the world, and sometimes our microphones can make that difference too, depending on what headset we have. Try to keep it concise, try to keep it slowish but not too slow, because that can also be another mistake. But talk at a normal pace, so like Diamond Star 385 Delta Sierra is 5 miles to the west, inbound for a full stop, something like that. Or if you're talking too slow, try to speed it up a little bit. You don't want to congest the radio frequency a lot. You want to try to keep it clear and concise, so I wouldn't say speak too slow, but also don't speak way too fast, because that can also come with other issues too. Forgetting to read back clearances is a big thing, so anything that is crucial information should be read back. I'm taking my flip-flops off. Anything with crucial information should be read back. So a taxiway clearance, runway hold short, takeoff and landing and on that specific runway. Those are things that you need to read back. So anything that is an instruction needs to be read back. So like if you heard the wind is 170 at 4, runway 16 clear to land, all you would have to say back is runway 16 clear to land and then your call sign. So you don't have to repeat back the wind that he gave you. It's just an advisory. And also, silence is better than confusion. So if you're not sure of that, ask. It's always a good idea to ask, because I remember one time I didn't ask and I almost lost my license. So ask. Also, this is a big thing with Bravo clearances, because if you don't know if you're cleared into the Bravo you're not, you assume that you are, but you're really not. You can get a phone number to copy, and getting phone numbers to copy is not a great way to start your day. So let's talk about handling busy frequencies. So you can still make your call if the frequency is really busy. Just be smart with it. So just wait a little bit of time to make your initial call. Listen for break in transmissions. This is a big one. So if you hear a break in transmission for like maybe more than 3 seconds, I would key up the microphone and then make your radio call. And also prep for your call mentally ahead of time, because everything might be coming really fast to you. And if it's really slammed, key up your mic and just say your call sign and like request or something, and ATC will get to you whenever they can. They'll always tell you to go ahead with your request whenever they get a break. There is kind of a difference with radio communications for both VFR and IFR. So VFR pilots, y'all can keep it a little bit more chill. You IFR pilots like me, you better be a little bit more precise.
5 Juliet Yankee, proceed direct CW Bill.
Yeah. Direct CW Bill, 5 Juliet Yankee.
For VFR, position reports, traffic advisory, and flight following requests, that's really all the common things that you're gonna have to read back. Or maybe even like landing clearances, but we won't talk about that. I'm trying to focus more on the approach side of this. But for IFR, you're gonna have to do clearances, route changes, added altitudes, headings, and you must read everything back that's crucial. And be ready for rapid instructions. Like in our instrument training, we have the craft clearances and the PTAC clearances. Those can come pretty quick, so if you guys are not prepared, you might fall behind. So stay prepared. And key tip for IFR, pen and kneeboard every time. Don't try trusting your memory under pressure, because trust me, my memory under pressure, it's hit or miss. So write everything down if you need to. So you guys want to sound like a seasoned pilot? Pick up these habits. The first thing, always use the correct call sign and phraseology. It will make you sound a lot more smarter on frequency and makes you a lot more confident in your ability. Avoid dead air as well. So dead air is basically when you press and hold the microphone without saying anything. Try to avoid that as much as you can, and know what you're going to say when you keep up the microphone. And listen more than you talk. You know you're talking to approach right when you're doing more of listening than talking. So yeah, try to keep talking to a minimum on frequency and you'll be set. Stay cool even if ATC sounds stressed, because I can tell you so many times that ATC has yelled at me on frequency just because they were stressed out. Sounding professionals, just calm, confident, and concise, but not robotic. You don't want to sound like a robot. That's really about it. Smooth radio calls don't come from sounding cool, they come from knowing exactly what you are saying and saying it clearly. Also, practice makes perfect, so if you guys want a great way to practice radio calls, I would hop on the simulator, especially for instrument, and go fly some practice approaches when a approach controller is online VATSIM. Anyways, drop your worst or funniest radio call moment in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go hit that like and that subscribe button. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go hit the bell notification, because only about 110 of you guys have the bell on. So hit the bell so you guys are notified every time I upload a new video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.